going to make a small announcement about my condition. I'm under the weather, so I'm going to try to lead the hymns for you this morning. I'll do the best, but if I'm not singing, just sing out. And the real reason for this announcement is that I'm not playing Chrysanthemum this morning by Scott Joplin. I have decided at this moment, in the spirit of play, because I haven't been able to practice this week, I'm just going to play something from Ragtime. So it's not at all what was planned. So I hope you enjoy our short little prayer. It'll be fun.
Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. It is Sunday, June 1st of 2025. I am Reverend Dr. Kate R. Walker. I use the she, her pronouns, and I am absolutely delighted to serve as the minister of this beloved community. For those with visual disability, I'm a middle-aged, light-skinned female. My hair is mid-length, light brown, and my summer curl. And I wear glasses. And today I have on a red dress and a colorful flowered stole. You are all welcome here in whatever way that you arrived. If you are watching now or in the future on YouTube, we are delighted you chose to be with us. If you are here in our beloved sanctuary, we are delighted. You are all very much welcome. And if this is your very first time with us, you are particularly welcome, and we're going to introduce you to one of our annual rituals called the Flower Communion, and that's why you see all these wonderful flowers this morning. And if you're with us on YouTube, please check us out on our website. Sign up for our newsletter, which you'll find on our website, and find out all the wonderful activities that we're engaged in. But more importantly, if you're on YouTube or here in person, reach out to us. Let us know you're here. Check in with our welcome desk and tell us more about yourself and what you're looking for in a religious community. I can tell you right now that we are a multi-faith religious community as Unitarian Universalists, where all are welcome. Diversity is celebrated. Questions are engaged and delighted and celebrated. We're growing, we're learning. Whomever you love, however you arrived, we are delighted you are here. And in the spirit of being an active and engaged community. It is our annual picnic this afternoon at noon at Shenley Park, and we invite you to make your way over there. And if you need a ride, just tap somebody on the shoulder, let them know, and hopefully they have a car. But we look forward to having you there. I know our events team has been working hard to make sure everybody has something to eat, and there will be games, and there'll be frivolity. I understand we're even we have a piñata? We have a piñata. I believe we're gonna restrict that to people under 18. I don't know why. You're gonna hear why my puzzlement in my sermon as we talk about play. And maybe we need an adult piñata next year. There we go. We are starting to wrap up our capital campaign, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but I am just delighted to celebrate. You may be seeing these lines inch up little by little through the last 2 months. We're currently at 69% of our goal. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And 52 participation. Now, we recognize that this is an aspirational goal. We knew we weren't going to get to 1.5 million today on June 1st by some miracle, though if you want to tip us into that category, I welcome it at all. But this is an aspirational goal, and we've already shot way past one of our aspirations, so we're just really quite delighted. And beloved, we also, for those with children, our summer religious education program begins next Sunday on June 8th, and they're going to be exploring the topic of miracles, including everyday ones like the flowers we are enjoying today. The summer program is best suited for children ages 5 through 11. Middle and high school youth are invited and warmly welcome to stay in the service or to come out and play with the class. That's an easy choice. We do have a wonderful lineup of summer speakers starting in July. I'm sure we'll be all delighted with who we have. And then we invite you now to just take a deep breath, and I invite you to contemplate a mystery that I engaged with today. As I was looking for something else on the pulpit, I came across a butter knife. In the Unitarian Universalism, we engage in questions. Why is there a butter knife in the pulpit? And if any of you know or want to make up a reason, I welcome it. Richard has a reason. To spread the joy. Thank you, Richard. The butter knife is for spreading the joy, and there we go. I invite you now to turn to our chalice lighting. The symbol of our faith, 2 circles of Unitarian and Universalism, and the light of truth, the seeking of love, the deepening of compassion, the broadening of our minds and hearts. Today, we celebrate the joy of play and flowers and the beauty of the universe, even as our hearts are breaking for so many in pain and sorrow. We know that music and beauty bring us together. Welcome, welcome to you all. I invite you to stand as you're able in body and spirit for hymn 78, Color and Fragrance. And if you have not already brought a flower forward for our vases, please do so during the hymn.
Within life, in a life, gently
Hello, Will. I also want to point out that the words of that beautiful hymn are Norbert Chopek, and he is the one who created the flower communion. You'll hear more about that from Erica in a little bit.
Good morning. My name is Chrissy Ambras. I use she, her pronouns. And for anyone with any kind of visual impairment, I am a light-skinned female in my mid-ish 40s. I have shoulder-length brown hair, and today I'm wearing a red sweater. And with that, I would invite you to join me in our collective reading. You'll find the words in your order of service. We name our collective recommitment to care for the earth, knowing the ground we live upon is sacred. We pledge to bring new life to the earth, new life to the air, new life to the waters, new life to each other, for all life is sacred.
There it is. Happy Flower Communion Sunday. How is everyone? Yay! I'm Erica Shattersong, Lifespan Religious Education Director. I have brown skin. I'm wearing a head wrap and a multi-patterned dress, and really, really happy to be with you this Sunday on this most colorful of all Sundays. And I would like to invite the children, if you would like, to kind of just come up and get a close view of these flowers while I tell the story of the flower communion. If you'd like to come up, you can come up and just sit in front of these flowers. And you can sit on the pew if you want, and you're just going to kind of meditate on these flowers while I tell this story. Welcome. Yep, there you go. Okay, so why do we have all these flowers here today? I'd like to tell you a story about a time long ago in a faraway land, but this is a true story, about a friendly, kind, and thoughtful minister named Norbert Chopek. Can you say Chopek? Chopek. Norbert Chopek. And he had a church. But it wasn't the kind of church that people were used to. It wasn't the kind of church that everyone expected. Everybody at this church was different. They believed different things. They were there for different reasons. Some of them just wanted a place where they could feel welcome. So what he started to notice was, because they were all different, they were kind of shy with each other, and people weren't really interacting, and they were suspicious of each other, and it wasn't the kind of loving community that he wanted. So he thought, well, I've got to do something. And he went for a walk, and he noticed the flowers outside and how different they all were. Some of them were these little wafy white pink ones, and some of them were these bold maroon and beautiful little purple, and big flowers and small flowers and lots of petals and only a few petals. And he said, that's just like people. We're all different. He wanted a ceremony to help people think about that, but not one that used like bread and juice like some of the other churches did. So he came up with an idea. He invited everybody to come and bring a flower with them. Maybe they found it on their way to church. Maybe it was from their garden, wherever they got it, and to bring it up at the beginning, just like we did here today. And when we look at all of these flowers, he told them, this is like us. This is our community. We have all these different things, and yet we create this beautiful bouquet. But that wasn't it. After everybody shared their flowers, he invited everybody to come and take a flower, a different one, than they had given, because we're all giving our gifts to each other. So you take a little bit of somebody else's kindness, somebody else's creativity home with you. And so that is the story of our flower communion for today, and we are going to be doing that in a few minutes. So you are welcome to go back and sit, and we're going to do some more flower stuff. And while you are returning to your seats, I don't expect there to be a lot of teachers here today because a lot of people are on vacation and traveling. But that being said, I would like to take a moment to recognize our religious education teachers. These are most of them are parents, but not always, who come and are with our kids every Sunday that we have class. And they form relationships with these kids and have been leading them. And I just want to ask you, if you were teaching at any time this year, or if you helped out with one of our religious education events, please stand. And yes, let's please give them a hand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have one more little announcement. Some of you may have noticed a pancake breakfast in the newsletter. Everything about that is true except the date. We're going to move that to August, but we do still need prizes. You can look it up in the newsletter. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Do you know how many teachers there are in the program?
12-ish.
Yeah. It takes 12 teachers to run our religious education program. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. In a few moments, Christy's going to introduce the offertory, but I wanted to say a couple words about the capital campaign. As we wrap up our capital campaign, we are celebrating our success with how much we have raised, over $1 million. I think that's phenomenal. I think that is phenomenal. When we first sat down to contemplate, over a year ago we sat down to contemplate all the physical needs of our building, we thought maybe we could raise $500,000. And that, for so many projects, we were thinking small and way too practical. As the list began to grow, we recognized that since the community had not engaged in a capital campaign in over 30 years, that maybe our members were ready to show their financial commitment to the care and love of this building. Then we began to imagine, what else did we really want to do? Not the bare minimum, but the aspirations of building a healthy community and how that would translate into our physical space. So our list started with improving the lights of the sanctuary, as you know, updating accessibility for everyone in the worship, including video and better audio, updating our 70-year-old heating and our non-existent cooling in the Mason wing, replacing old windows, making the stage and this pulpit accessible, and updating the bathrooms. And oh gosh, don't get Martin Schmidt started. There's a long list. Then our brilliant team let go in this shifting moment of the practical necessities and entered a world of imagining radical hospitality. What if the front yard of our building was fully accessible with a beautifully carving ramp and indigenous plants inviting everybody in? What if our backyard was fully accessible and had a playground that even the adults want to use? What if we redesigned the Schweitzer room windows and opened them up like doors directly into the garden, creating a beautiful flowing space? What if we stopped saying no to basic necessities every month and created an endowment fund specifically designated for our building and ground needs, truly investing in our future with a gift to our children? What joy we shifted from bare minimum to aspirations. And so many of you have responded with your joy. I and the Capital Campaign team are deeply grateful for your affirmation and the clear messaging that you also care for our building and grounds. If you have already pledged and given to the capital campaign and then you are comfortable, I invite you to rise or wave your arms as you're able. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You care deeply for the future of our community and the shared mission to connect deeply in community, to inspire reverence and spiritual growth, to serve one another in the world, and to learn together. Now, to all of you who have made that financial commitment, I invite you to take a deep breath and feel yourself connected to this community. To all of you who are still unsure or still procrastinating, I know who you are. It's okay. Some of you may still have questions, or you just don't have the funds right now. That's fine. You're still a part of this community and deeply connected. We truly welcome your gift today, tomorrow, next month, or in December. You can give by pledge, a form, you can give by check, carrier pigeon, cash, stock, retirement fund. We welcome your Venmo, I suppose. Well, maybe we're not there yet. I'm not sure. We might not be there yet. But our team is available to you at the church picnic right after service at Shenley Park to help in your discernment. If you need guidance, I will tell you right now, if $10 is what you can do, wonderful. We welcome it. Just let us know that it's you so that we can say thank you and help us reach our goal of a very high participation. If it's $100,000, wonderful. Thank you. Just let us know so that we can thank you and help us reach our goals. No matter what you give, we want you to feel connected to this building, to the pew that you're now nestled into, and to receiving the light, what little there is of it. And know that this building, this community, that you are a part of it. That you are part of this community as much as you are part of it when you're singing and you're hearing each other's voices, when you are meditating, when you are praying and listening, when you are protesting out there on the streets of Pittsburgh, when you are laughing and when you are hugging, when you are pledging and donating. This is who we are. So for the procrastinators or those who are feeling particularly guided by my very inspiring words, I invite you, if you want, you can get your smartphone out and go to our website right now and make your pledge. I welcome it. I welcome it. I welcome it. And I want to also just say a huge, huge thank you to Al and Rob Schwartz once again for their incredible co-chair. They are just amazing partners in this. And they literally just got back from Japan, so be gentle with them right now. And now I welcome up Chrissy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, right. We're going to auction up the butter. That's right.
Each month, we share our generosity with a designated organization. This month, the month of June, is Ceasefire PA. So all donations are shared 50-50 with this organization, unless they're otherwise designated by you. Our religious community is made up of volunteers and staff, creating and hosting a variety of programming. We rely on your financial support. In addition to the collection plate, you can donate by texting the word GIVE to 412-435-1050 and following the directions and the prompts. Please check at the end of your order of service for more directions on how to give that way. And at this time, the offering will be gratefully received to support the work, the wonder, and the witness of this religious community.
Now I want to go out and play. Thanks, Danny. That is beautiful, very playful. I invite you into your hearts and your space that you find is quiet meditation, a place where you find is holy and sacred, in your heart space. We have so many joys in our lives, as well as the deeper sorrows and broken places. I invite you to embrace this place. Hold it tenderly. Deep breath. I invite you into a deeper silence with your prayer or your meditation, or just your breathing. Spirit of life, hold us in your joyfulness, in your playfulness. Hold us and remind us of all that we hold as holy, as sacred. Spirit of love, heal our broken places. Remind us of the capacity and strength and endurance of love, of a love that emboldens, that gives us courage, that reminds us that we are all connected to one another. Spirit of God, of the many names throughout the ages, it has been with us time and time again. We call out in our wilderness at times, feeling lost, disconnected, or lonely. Let us be reminded. Let us be reminded of the love and connection and the spirit of life itself. Let us be filled with joy or peace with each breath. As we hold so many places in our world, so many places on our planet that are tearing each other apart, let us rededicate ourselves to commitment to justice, to hope, to resilience, to embracing this world and all that it offers. Blessed be, and amen. I invite you to stay seated for 352, Find a Stillness. It is lovely. Does anybody here like to play? I worry about the people who didn't just raise their hand. Sometimes we, on the older side of adulthood, lament. We lament how kids these days and how they play has changed. They don't play the way we used to play. And there's some truth to our lamentations and sometimes our judgment. My childhood was filled with weekends and summers as a free-range kid wandering around our neighborhood. I was often trailing one of my older brothers or my friends. I had a fantasy-filled life, running an ice cream shop in my neighbor's backyard. We would play dress-up in endless hours of variations of tag, late into the summer evening. I also felt very comfortable alone, biking, roller skating, exploring the woods and parks. My mother had a giant schoolyard bell to beckon my brothers and I back to the house. Winter was no different. You would find me in my room surrounded by an ocean of creativity, stretching my imagination beyond limits and engaging the universe through constant play. The definition of play is pretty simple: engage in activity for enjoyment and recreation rather than a serious or a practical purpose. Playtime is surprisingly important to, well, everything. Everything. Vivian Goosen Paley, who was an American preschool and kindergarten teacher and early childhood education researcher, she wrote a fantastic little book called Bad Guys Don't Have Birthdays. Fantasy play at 4. It came out in 1988, and I still refer to it all the time. It lovingly tells the stories of her young subjects in play and how the little kids navigate their emotional trials and tribulations like birthdays and God and Tyrannosaurus Rex and the arrival of a baby sibling. Without play and its capacity to tap into the depth and that never-ending edges of our creativity, our brains simply would not be able to develop into healthy adulthood. That play is crucial. And when faced with adult challenges, we adults, I think, have forgotten the value of play and losing this critical tool as we navigate all of our joys and our sorrows. Perhaps we sometimes rationalize, we don't need playtime anymore because it's just for kids. Do you agree with that? No. After all, we do engage in rather serious endeavors, practical matters, like saving each other from our own self-destruction. That actually is kind of important. And if we adults do play, it's with the kids for their sake, as if it's not really for us. We don't get any benefit out of it. And maybe these days we might join the kids in playing video games, structured, preloaded imagination games. There is, of course, some concern for our children in these contemporary times around how much time they're spending on video games and not exploring the parks and inventing ice cream shops. But the jury is still out on that one. For adults, having abandoned the playground of imagination, the evidence is lacking in how much we need play to navigate our lives as we dedicate to pure practicality. The evidence is lacking, but I have two thoughts for you, my friends. I have two thoughts for you, young and old together. Both connect to the religious quality of our life in the very serious commitment of saving each other from our self-destruction. One comes from D.W. Winnicott. He was a 20th century English pediatrician and a psychoanalyst. He wrote about creativity and, by extension, play. Here's what he said that I find so terribly important. The link can be made between creative living and living itself. And the reasons can be studied why it is that creative living can be lost, and why the individual's feeling that life is real or meaningful can disappear. Winnicott is saying something we need to listen to. If we want to live full, meaningful lives that we are connected to, we need to live full, creative lives. And this is universal. It's not just for the British, who really need to hear this. There may be all sorts of critique of Winnicott, who did the best he could given his 20th century English lifestyle. But this connection between meaning and creativity, I believe, is psychologically grounded. And there's theological support for this, which leads me to my second point, Richard Powers. He has a 2024 book called Playground. You may remember his Pulitzer Prize-winning book, Overstory, which featured on trees. His new book is on the ocean. The ocean. And in stunning detail, Powers offers a transformational paradigm of how we look at the planet, and 70% of which we ignore often, or we only see the gray surface and occasionally dip our bodies into on hot summer days. With Powers' stunning detail, I found my mind expanding into creative juices. As I've shared multiple times, I'm really a mountain gal, take me to the mountains. But here's the thing, I have to admit, after reading his book, I've been missing the real show on this planet. Powers writes through one of his characters, the ocean was forever unfolding, forever exploring, forever tinkering with form, and for every part it was busy talking about what was all around. So was she. She was living being that came from those waters, which meant every living being. As she writes, our character writes through her, she's writing a book for young readers, and she realized she needed to show how the ocean started everything, every note, and kept in play every possibility. Kept in play every possibility. Now, if your brain isn't exploding right now, I'm not sure you're really getting what he's implying. Powers explores that the universal concept of evolution, that life evolves constantly through creativity and play. That's kind of cool. But understanding what type of play is crucial. Play can be competition or cooperation. As he wrote, a finite game is played for the purpose of winning. An infinite game for the purpose of continuing the play. So we kind of messed up when we introduced play as primarily finite. Winner takes all, scarcity, transactions over shared communal space, imperative to generate wealth over generating life. But the universe, that is all life, is engaged in continuous play. We're here because a massive, infinite game of play. Powers, as usual, is blowing my brain apart. This biological fact mirrors a theological construct called process theology. How many of you have heard of process theology? Oh, good, excellent. Yeah, let me blow your mind a little bit again for those who have not heard of it. In process theology, each moment, or God, is one of endless, continuous moment of creative unfolding. All life is constantly becoming God is constantly unfolding, ceaseless act of creation, not a static being. Process theology emerged out of philosophy in the early 20th century, and it offers a paradigm shift, like an exploding star. It's having a slow impact on the concept of God as abstract in each and every moment, inviting us to celebrate again and again. How we might react to ideas like this that turn us around and inside out, ideas that recognize and ask us to reimagine how we view the universe, with one where science and religion can be playground partners. Powers shows us the way. As he writes, curiosity was the core inner value of the strongest players. Curiosity. Asking why, what, when, how. If humanity fulfills our possibility of hope, despite all the pain and the suffering that we cause for each other, if we lean into resilience, then we need curiosity to guide us into a creativity that is found best in play. The creative interchange of ideas and roles and images and boundary-pushing concepts grounded in the mission of possibility. Power shows how the ocean, the source of all life on this beautiful planet, and really we should be calling it the ocean planet. Earth is a bit of a misnomer. It's the perfect image, the perfect artistic and spiritual metaphor for play. Play is the source code for life. As he closes his book, he says, every dance is a game. Every game is its own best explanation. Everything alive, even we newcomers, what are all creatures, even me, doing at all times, but playing in the world, playing before their tinkering Lord. End quote. So my charge, you probably see it coming. Won't you play with me? Won't you play with each other? Go play and have a good time. Amen. Blessed be. Ashe. Our flower communion. I want to make it clear that if you didn't bring a flower for whatever reason, you didn't know it was flower communion, you're brand new, what the heck is going on, or your flower is sitting on your counter, we have plenty of flowers. We invite you to come forward while Ellen plays the beautiful music along with the fabulous pit band.
No, well, not yet. No.
And choose a different flower than the one you brought. Even if you didn't bring a flower, come forward. If you need help getting a flower, for accessibility, raise your hand and one of the ushers will give you a hand. We also invite you to take a rainbow or multicolored ribbon stick. Yes, thank you. Please come forward and receive your gifts.
Now is the time. Yes. Julie. Not yet. For De Colores. De Colores.
I thought they were done. I thought they were done. I had to take 3 because I'm that kind of person. May you go forth with your gifts and bless this world. And we're going to sing 305 De Colores, and this is the time to get those wonderful colors out there. And we figured this would be easier than the flowers, which might not survive. And if you want to return your flags, great. If you want to take them home and wave them up and down all over Pittsburgh, that's awesome too. Please stand as you're able in body and spirit. 305, De Colores. Are we going to do it in Spanish?
No.
English, English.
We now turn to extinguishing the chalice. The words are found in our hearts as well as in our program. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth, my beloved, go forth into this world. Celebrate, play with one another, and know that when you play, you become part of the universe in its most profound and evolutionary, gorgeous way. Return again with your love rebuilt. And please come to the picnic. Shenley Park, Bartlett Playground, of course. Blessed be. Oh, and check this out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You belong
somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover, go away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea.